Each says shalom. I have about 6 words.
Armenia is my history, a place where my grandparents were born. It's my culture, my church, music, my homeland, even though I've not been there. I've seen a lot of pictures. Maybe one day I'll get there, I'm not sure. But it's my history.
When we were first dating, Jan said, I like everything about you, but you're not Armenian. So there's not much I can do about that. We put that aside.
I don't remember saying that.
Because I think she was starting to become serious as I was. And so as you do, you start thinking, gee, this isn't what I expected. And this isn't what I had in mind as a young girl.
So in the mid-70s, we both were at the same party. And at one point, we literally bumped into each other. And after saying our, oh, excuse me's, I'm sorry's, we began talking and wound up talking for the entire evening. And at the end of the night, Rick asked me for my phone number. I had never given my phone number away to a stranger, but I thought, you know, this guy seems really trustworthy. He's sweet and conversant and warm. So I decided to give him my phone number.
This is funny, but it wasn't funny. I got home and I left the piece of paper in my pocket, and it ended up in the wash.
Oh, so that's why he didn't call right away.
The phone number and her name came out, bled through. I couldn't read it. So it's like, I really want to call this girl. What am I going to do?
And a couple weeks later, he called and asked me out to a movie and dinner. And so he came to the door.
And I met the family and the 3 sisters, who all look quite a bit alike. And they were very warm and very inviting. And as I was very captivated by Jan when I first met her. I thought she was a very charming woman, young woman. And after leaving her house for our date, I felt like I knew her family for a long time because they just had that warmth and very inviting. So, and then we just continued dating from there.
And he was an Odar. And my parents accepted him with open arms.
And I think that didn't play any role for me. I never looked at dating anybody because of their ethnic background. But I learned about the Armenian culture through Jan. And I think we just were the type that were self-supporting, where I would support everything that she wanted to be involved in. And she was very supportive of me. And we kind of grew together, and I think the most fascinating thing of our courtship is that we learned a lot that we otherwise maybe wouldn't have learned. And we just really became
a couple.
A couple, yeah. Before we met, I went to a private college, Marquette University, and I studied finance. And I worked for a lot of large companies, and Jan went to the University of Wisconsin Milwaukee, and she's in the medical field as a nurse. And so we were very active in our careers, and when we had our children, Jan cut back to a few days a week, and we relied on our parents to help babysit, and they did so graciously.
I have to say, in our marriage, I think Rick would agree, we each do what we have to do. There's no such thing as a man's job or a woman's job.
Need any help?
No.
There's no predetermined things that I do or she does. I maintain the yard, but I enjoy doing that.
He does all the cooking. So, you know, in many households, you would think that it's a woman's job to do the cooking. He does like 80% of it. I certainly can cook, but it's something he loves to do. So I let him do it.
If there's laundry building up, I'll wash it. If Jan sees it, she'll wash it. We raised our kids. I probably changed as many diapers as Jan did. I probably got up for the 2 o'clock in the morning feeding as often as she did. And it wasn't like, well, she's, you know, you're supposed to go, or I'm supposed to go, or you're not supposed to go, or I am. We build houses, and we built this home, our own home. And of course, everything starts with a plan. And this is the plan, the architectural plan of this particular house. This plan took about 6 months. Back and forth, kept changing it until it was the way we wanted it to be. We didn't really build it for ourselves, but we ended up keeping it. Jan wonders why 2 people live in this house. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but we really like it. We've done about 10 projects. When we had our first home, we built it with somebody else. I got on the architectural control committee for the subdivision. So I was seeing all these house plans come through, and I really enjoyed architecture, you know, and just the building process. So I thought, yeah, one time when we have the time and we're at a different phase in life, maybe we could, you know, start a small business. So that's what we did. I think the country is hugely divided, as Wisconsin is. Because of that, it seems like there's no cohesiveness. We just need a government that supports ingenuity, hard work, good education, and lets people go out and find their own way. That's much more the longevity of that is much greater than government subsidies, always giving money to people for doing nothing. This house was built for a couple with 3 young kids, and they like the farmhouse style, which is very popular in Wisconsin. Jan likes to shop.
That's right.
I think it's a female thing, so I'm not sure that that's unusual. I hate shopping, which most men don't like. And but you know, all kidding aside, I think we have a lot of very similar interests, and we enjoy the same things. And I don't think there were too many things that we didn't enjoy doing. I can't think of anything that anyone I'd rather do something with than Jan. You know, whether we're traveling or you know, whatever we're doing, any social event, I'm always grateful and comfortable when she's with me.
This Friday, 3 days from now, will be our 44th wedding anniversary. So we've lasted a long time.
And hopefully another 44.
Yeah, I wish.
I think I look a little Armenian, don't you?
Yeah,
don't
he
you
did.
Look there? I mean, look at that couple. I mean, they look like on a poster for an Armenian wedding. My hair is dark. Her hair is dark.
No, this is my father, who was my role model and mentor for the Armenian church music. Yeah. So we've led a very full, rich life.
So far.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be 72 in a month.
Doesn't look like it,
Rick
does
just
she?
turned 70, so that's a little scary, knowing that kind of on the downswing of life.
You know, people make a lot of decisions, you know, in the world, in daily life, but the best decision I ever made was to marry Jan.
Aww. Ditto. Yeah. One song in my repertoire, and it's called When I Fall in Love, It Will Be Forever.